Yeah, folks, Quillyteen here, and welcome to our Wednesday live stream. And we are back in Dyson Sphere program yet again today, trying to pave the world, try to cover the sun with solar panels. That's kind of the gist of things over here, isn't it? Hope everyone's having a lovely midweek. I'm very excited to be tackling this day because I think we're going to be doing some pretty big things. I hope. Oh, hey there. Hey, White Devil. And Right Wing Devil. Sorry about your headphone volume as well. Different tabs at different volumes. It can catch you off guard a little bit. Trying to cover the sun with solar panels for programming. Essentially, we're just being really environmentally friendly is all. You know? I'm sure right now we're actually still burning quite a bit of coal for our power, but we're trying to get past that, if at all possible. I did let the game idle for a while to research a bunch more stuff for us. So there's a bunch of things researched that I probably still can't even build yet. I think we're ahead of the curve on research compared to our production. But that's not a bad place to be. -6 in Europe. Ooh. We just got through a big period of like -40 weather. I think it's quite mild today, actually. Yeah, it's actually above freezing today, which is crazy. It's 3 degrees right now. Celsius, of course, which is shocking. Absolutely shocking, but I'll take it. Oh. Coal is just stored sunlight. I mean, there you go. See, grumpy oldie? Exactly. We're in crazy cold summer in Melbourne. Oh, really? Probably, I suspect what, one of the jet streams kind of wonky and in a different position or something like that? -40 was crazy. Yeah, it was minus, just, what, 3 days ago? Centra probably remembers, because she was probably turned into a human popsicle. I think it was about 3 days ago, we were still around -40, which was just redonkulous. Just redonkulous. Seeing the sun for the first time in a month, at least in Paris. Oh, gosh. You've been in popsicle for several days in a row. Yes, correct. Yeah, so hopefully that's not going to be quite as bad for... Looks like the next few days are actually going to be a bit better, which is nice to see. Okay, so... Actually, I just realized my research queue right now is nearly done with stuff, but we'll take a look at that. We have unlocked purple cubes, but we're not producing those yet. Part of me, though, is wondering about... prepping for some scaling up of some industries, in particular, making little pods centered. Now that we have logistics, right? The planetary and interstellar logistics ready to go. I mean, we haven't actually opened up warping, so it's still really intrastellar transportation, but apparently the buildings are the same. I'm wondering about setting up little pods in a couple of places to boost the production of some things that we seem to need a lot of as we go forward, and that is taking longer and longer to produce. In particular, it does feel like scaling up the green engine, the electromagnetic turbines, scaling up the green engine production would be good. And we've never automated the particle container over here, which uses the green engines, and it takes a while to build, and it seems like we need a lot of them to build the logistics. Although maybe that's mostly all we need of it, and maybe we don't need that much more. I don't know. I've gone and pre-built. I've got 8 interstellar logistics stations ready to go, 4 planetary ones sit in the bank as well, and a good number of these little trail pods. I haven't set up proliferators yet at all. I mean, maybe it's something we should do. Maybe it's not a huge deal if we're scaling in other ways. I have no idea whatsoever. We can also start working on the actual, Dyson Sphere program, which could be a whole thing. I plopped down a couple of EM rail ejectors because I don't remember what they need as an input and what that whole sequence is. But especially if we want to set up on a new planet or a new place, I mean, we're going to need more power, and it's going to be maybe easier to distribute it in huge, massive amounts if we start getting this set up. So I'm kind of wondering about doing this. It seemed like the first and second tier proliferators are super cheap and easy to set up. I mean, we might want to do some of that, because one of the things going on right now is a lot of our oil seeps are starting to dry up, so they're not producing anywhere near as quickly. And so everything that's sort of like downwind from the oil production is starting to slow down. Like, I added in a little bit more oil refining over here because we're, having a little bit of a hard time. But it's kind of becoming moot because the inputs here are just getting too slow. Oil seeps proliferating is worth it. That's what I'm starting to wonder, because if our crude oil is a problem, if we can add a multiplier on the crude oil, and if we can multiply maybe the refined oil, that might be quite useful. So yeah, I don't know what's involved in that. So I guess we build a spray coater. So I don't have one. Let me build a spray coater. And so is the idea that the path goes through it? So we would do this. I haven't done this at all. Oh, looks like that one can actually be plopped right on top of a route, which is nice. Okay, try to remember that going forward. So that gets put there, but then you need... I'm clicking the conveyor belt. But you need proliferator. Input a second belt. Is that the input right there for the actual spray coating? So it comes in on a second level. That is super cute. Okay, we're just gonna set up a little test bed for it, and then figure out what that means for an actual production kind of thing. So, it's this yellow stuff, right? Mark 1, Mark 2. So Mark 1 is just coal. Raw coal turns into proliferator. And Mark 2 is the Mark 1 plus diamond. Well, hell, we even grab some coal right over here. To go cricket. What I'm going to do as well is I'm going to set this as the priority over here. Diamond also being coal. Yeah, right. Diamond's coal by a different name, I suppose. Oh, shoot. No, hold on. I'm not feeding the coal directly. What I'm going to do is... Was it in an assembler? Yeah. I really want to do the spacey stuff today, but it might not be a bad idea to get a wee bit of this going on here. Oop. So, oh, it only takes a half second to process. Okay. I was wondering about feeding it into, endpoint must be horizontal, I think. I was wondering about feeding into a planetary something, or some sort of logistics provider so we could spread it around from there. I don't think this is the place we're going to be doing this in bulk necessarily for the whole thing. We're just doing a little in-place settlement here and see how that feels. Okay, so that feeds into that. So now, oh, we got a little extra graphic here. So I don't do anything else here, but at the other station, there was some sort of option for extra products. I know there's no research, but that's okay. We can bottle up a bunch of yellow. The yellow production keeps getting kind of behind. So is that it? Every now and again, we're going to get... There it is. I think it's sucked in enough of the sprayed on stuff. So now we're getting 12.5% extra output from this. Proliferators are super low throughput. Using logistics bots to spread them is a great option. Oh. Right, so you're saying one dose of proliferator lasts a good time? Okay, I'm trying to select the spray coater. Each spray has multiple charges. Should I have multiple ones on the same line? Would that make a difference? No, okay. I know that, like, you can apply it to each subset step. So now that we've got that, even more so for high proliferators, yeah. I mean, it would be really easy for me to scale this up to tier 2, as it turns out. Right? Because diamond production, I can't remember if it's in a smelter. I feel like it is. Whoops. Oh, but then we need... Okay. We kind of need to chain. Now, I suspect this is nowhere near 1-to-1, but... Remember, all ingredients must be sprayed by the same tier for the spraying to work. Okay. I mean, this is not, it's not so much a remember as, hey, Quill, you've literally never done this before and have no idea what you're doing. So here's how it's supposed to work. Thank you. Do not grab the inserters. I'm still very confused by the copy and paste system. See, if I do this, it's going to grab the belt, and then it's going to complain about something already being in the way. If you use the shortcut copy, it grabs the inserters. It looks to me... I need to, like, click, like... It's so odd. It sort of looks to me like it's grabbing some. Now it's grabbing the Tesla tower. All right, now it's grabbing some at least. Okay. Too many Tesla towers in here, but that's fine. There's still something about the UI interaction with the blueprint like copier that doesn't work for me for some reason. And I'm sure the ratios on this little production thing is wrong. But, or maybe not. Maybe maybe this is the ratio that works, but yeah, I didn't leave myself enough room anymore. But that's okay. It is 1-to-1, really. So this makes a graphene or graphite, whichever one, graphite, every 2 seconds. It makes one every 2. And this consumes one every 2. Well, isn't that super duper convenient? I didn't realize diamonds were so easy to make. Okay. Here we might not end up with enough coal anymore. We can, okay, we could reroute things. Hell, you know what I could do? Do a little something like this. Spaghetti, everybody loves spaghetti. I'm gonna do one of those. There you go, because we got the priority going to the south. We want to upgrade that, just to make it easier to go through. Okay, if we've got something like this, then what I do on the other side... Trash that. On the other side, starting from around here, because this produces a... Right, one every half second. And this produces one every second, but it takes 2 on the input. Ooh, I should have maybe swapped these, because this is going to have to get pretty greedy. Because it's going to have to make... It's going to have to make a trip from the Mark 1 twice a second. Yeah. So we're going to need 2 of those, and then 1 like that, which will make it harder to stack. Yeah, these are 1-to-1, which is great. The grabbing's a little awkward. I guess, hold on. I don't have to belt this at all anymore. Since it's 1-to-1. We can make things a little closer. Let me trash these inserters as well, if I can do that without deleting the entire building, because I'm pretty good at doing that normally. Now, no matter what, we need to leave a gap, because I think that might be enough of a gap. Let's see. Oh, it is. Okay, good. So you can do that. So what we can do is we can route the diamonds on the backside here. Like this. It still needs to grab fairly quickly. Well, that's still only going to be 1.5 per second. Or, yeah. And we need this to be 2 per second, yeah? Yeah. I mean, we could use 1 Mark 1 and 1 Mark 2. That means 2.25 trips per second, so we're going to be fine. Grabbing from the other side, we can go fairly slow. And then we can output over there. Then, assuming I haven't completely effed everything up. There we go. Trim that back like that, and then just dump some inventory by clicking and tabbing. There we go. Oh, you're still colliding with an object. No, come here. No. Is that the straight line to this? Okay, it is. What I want to do is this. Well, actually, hold on a sec. I want to put a splitter with a bin with a logistics distributor on top. You are going to feed directly into this because you can. So right now, I think we're still smearing everything with the yellow here for now. But it's going to run out, and then I'll start doing that. And then this thing here is going to distribute to other distributor. Oh, it does not gain the filter? That's interesting. Go. And then we'll give you 10 logistic spots. You can also spray the spray to make the spray have more uses. Yo, dog! Really? Okay. So, let's make more spray coaters. We'll just keep a few in our pocket now. Oh, I gotta go a little further, don't I? I wonder if there's a more convenient way. Huh. Oops. That's why it's not working right. We gotta go a little further to make the ramp. This game got recursive in just a second. Yeah, there you go. And then I guess we could spray all the inputs to this system as well. Or I could if I'd left myself enough room here. I mean, I guess I can do that, but it's not going to guarantee that everything is there. Oh, there's a little kink because of the tropic. Yeah. I wonder if I can make... at the priority. And then if we do end up with more, it's okay. We can output there, but the priority is send it all this way, please, on the high speed thing. Now, so as an experiment, can I put the logistics distributor on the ground? No, it's got to be on top of a storage, which is still most convenient in this case, on top of a splitter. And the splitter's got to be far enough away that it can make that ramp. Is there another way to organize this? I suppose if I use in the Type 2 storage, then I wouldn't need to start with a splitter, because it sort of has its own implicit splitter thing. So we put in a request for the Mark II, where we request, and the storage bin should probably have a limit of 1. Oh, I forgot the splitter has a 2-story mode. Yes. Yeah, that's totally right. If you tab, there's actually multiple different configurations. The flat one we've been using, the 2-story linear, the 2-story cross. I forget about it because it hasn't come up, but that would save me from having to worry about the spacing, because I could put it right next door. Yes, okay. So this is all getting sprayed. Now we need to make sure we're also spraying the diamonds. Oh, but now we're not spraying the Mark I. So is this not going to work then? Yeah. So spraying the diamonds isn't going to do anything. So I'd have to belt the Mark Is, spray them, and then feed them into the system. Okay, well, let's not worry about it here then. That's fine. Let me just tab to dump some inventory. Dump those in there so it won't have to request anything for a long time. Oh, it's also not spraying the carbon rods over here. Right. Okay. So we're still gonna get some bonus resource. Our coal over here is getting more value. So we're producing bonus graphene and we're producing bonus Mark Is. So this is still doing something, even if it's not doing the entire system. And then we are spraying the Mark II so that it's gonna go further in general as well. Oh, I can see the little tickies. This must have been sprayed with a level 1. Proliferator stacked, 344 points. Proliferator stacked, 140 points.
Hey, Quill, pay attention. There's a new subscriber.
Okay. Plus 20% items produced. Yeah, so we're still getting some extra goodies. This seems okay. Who's the new sub? Hey, the Mithra, thank you very much. Whoa, 6 months in advance. You got a lot of faith. Oh God, I'm stressed out. Thank you. With several spray tier stack merge, it averages the tier. Okay. All right. So, I mean, that's quite interesting, and we should try to make more use of this going forward. All right. But I would still like to make a bump up the production tree. You can see why I'm still not stressed about having started the research here. The yellow is still accumulating, but it's about to finish. So let's do that now. I'm just going to queue up some whatever. Okay, you need purple, which we can build We can unlock the Mark III proliferators here. Let's activate it so that we can consider doing that going forward. That one needs green cubes. This needed purple. This needed green. So I think I've researched everything I can in this tree once we get the proliferator that we can without setting up the next level of tech. Now, in terms of upgrades, research speed needs purple. That needs purple. We can get logistics carrier capacity, so we'll do that. We can't do distribution range. We can do shorter stacking. Not that I'm using the stacking yet, but I probably should. I can get another level of vertical construction. Ray transmission, solar sail life. This is going to become important if we, you know, start to actually produce the Dyson Sphere program. Mecha core needs purple. Universe exploration needs purple. I think this is literally the full queue we can do currently, unless one of these unlocks something else. Sprayer mech fuel to recharge faster. Oh, that's cool. That's one of the things. Actually, we should probably do that right now because it doesn't represent a very complicated thing to do. We are not currently producing hydrogen fuel rods. And from my understanding, this packs a lot more juice, and it's just really convenient to just refuel ourselves based on this. The graphite has 6 megajoules worth of power. The hydrogen fuel rods have 54. So quite a lot more power density. It's got the plus 200% fuel chamber generation. So we burn it, we gain the power from it faster, which will avoid the situations where our battery is running dry for some reason, even though we've got plenty of fuel. So we can get that. We could even consider going up to deuteron. I think we've got everything maybe new with this. Notice the fuel chamber gen number. Yeah, that's what you're talking about, right? The plus 200%. Yeah. So it's really, really quite good. And all it takes is titanium. Yeah, and hydrogen. Now, I want to avoid piggybacking on more of what I've already got. So I kind of want to create a new area for it. The downside with that, well, maybe not a downside. I was gonna say the downside with that is that we're again gonna generate a bunch of refined fuel. Now, the refined fuel is actually, or refined oil, is actually something we'd like a little bit more into the system here, but it doesn't stack very well. I don't think it's worth transporting. What we could do is we could do an in-place conversion of all the refined fuel into more hydrogen with a 2-step process. So, and I know there's like, actually someone posted something quite cool and self-contained, and I don't remember what it is. But let's say we're going to use this space over here as a hydrogen production area. Deuterium process loop with level 3 belts is quite good and fast. Okay. So, not refinery. Sorry, my bad. I need a oil pump. Now, want to power you? Oh, no, you're not actually in the grid, are you? Okay. Now you will be. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to paint this stuff. Right? So we just learned a thing. Let's put it to use. So that might be a convenient thing to blueprint too. Plus this. I think it wants to start from the bottom. How do I... Up arrow? No. Tab? No. Yeah, I'm up arrowing. I'm using... Maybe click and then up? I might need it. Okay, it is trying to do the up level now, but... I've done something else that's not quite right. It's fine if I leave an extra gap, but maybe I wasn't aligned? You know what? Maybe that was it? If I leave an extra gap, I was hoping to just scrooge them right next to one another. And then up arrow. So now it's fine. Maybe I wasn't quite aligned. Or maybe they're just too... I was gonna say, is there a tropic line? It didn't look like... Oh. This tropic line, maybe. Because I'm not building on one, am I? Well, I guess I am. That was probably it. It's probably this tropic line here, which I wasn't really aware of. Okay, so we'll leave a gap in there. Groovy. Now, we still need to put a bin on top of this. So we still need to do this. And then put this. And ask for that. And request. I'm thinking I don't need to have the bots for every one of these. Do I? I was gonna say, don't need bots. There they come, here. Okay. They are gonna be delivered. There we go. Although I guess, because I can't put a limit here, I guess my limit is really just this bin. Will it just deliver here until this cargo bin is full? Yeah, okay. So we need to make sure to put the limit on there. You can't distribute without bots, you can receive without bots. Okay. Because I was hoping to get rid of this error, because I turned this off. So I was kind of expecting this error to go away, this warning. Because I'm not trying to distribute to anything, so to me, we don't need this message, but I guess it's fine. Okay, so having done that, no matter what, with our oil refining, we have to start, and I might tear this a little bit down after we figure a thing out. We have to start with plasma refining, because this is the only thing that consumes raw crude oil. Now, it's going to provide both refined oil and hydrogen, and someone posted a smart screenshot of like a super ultra dense little setup here. I kind of wish when I was placing this, it would show me the preview of the inserter spots. Is there an option for that? You know, because it would be very convenient to line these up. I do have orbital collectors unlocked. But right now, we can't build it because I can't build accumulators currently. I literally can't double-click on this. I can double-click on something else for the recipe. I can't double-click on this, which makes me think I don't have the recipe for accumulators. No, except they're right here. Oh, because they have to be full accumulators. Is that it? That's what was confusing me. Anyway, because this takes, sorry, this is the wrong recipe. That's not what I want. This takes X-ray cracking, which takes in both the refined oil and the hydrogen. And specifically, it's 2 hydrogen to 1 refined oil. And what does this produce? Does this produce 1 to 1? No, this produces 2 to 1. 2 oil, 1 hydrogen. Oh, they're inverted, the ratios. But I think they can feed back into themselves too, can't they? This might be the sort of thing where you have to like sort of spreadsheet to get the math right. But, like, we can end up with another one on the other side. So this will stop working at some point because this is not producing, it's not producing enough hydrogen. But these things are going to output hydrogen and energetic graphite. hydrogen put on here, because then you can pick it back up. We may have to like bootstrap the system. I feel like there's something weird here that we can do. Oh, yeah. I guess you can just pick up immediately again. Hold on. Feed the hydrogen back in that you need. This feels like cheating. And then all we have to do is worry about getting rid of the graphite from the system. And before set up splitter, the part has feedback, so you can have hydrogen as a pure output. No inputs aside. Yeah. Right, like this we can't keep respraying, that's true. To go kind of like Super Saiyan exponential. That's a good point. I mean, I can spray this initial input, but I can't keep respraying over and over to get infinite, unlimited bullshit. But it is really funny. Again, with the tropics, oh, that's so annoying. Yeah, the copy and paste and everything might just not work very well. How do we, there we go, right click a bunch of times. Yeah, it's definitely gonna be wonky. And even the copying's not, yeah. It's not going to be happy about any of this. Okay. Yeah, along the tropics going better. It's a little tight at the poles too, but yeah, it'd be better sideways like this, but... Let me just get another one of these. And we're not going to worry about it. Because apparently once we get our orbital collectors going, then we're not going to have any issues. Maybe we could just set that up now. I don't know. No. Well, actually surprised that fits there, but sure. All right, so we end up with some hydrogen over here. And then what's the next step? It was just titanium, right? Get some titanium and hydrogen together. Well, titanium is something we already shipped through space. Technically, it lands over there, so I could just belt it. But I'm wondering about doing a little local provider. I don't know, I might... Just because this setup here is not currently scalable. And I don't know if it needs to be mega scaled, because this is really... We're just talking about really my, my personal inventory worth of a charging station. Because clearly, if we're going to have to make... helium? Deuterium? What am I making? I'm going to be making that in bulk. This setup is obviously not in the right place. Deuterium. Yeah, just the isotope of hydrogen, right. Okay. So we're going to start spraying this part anyway. And we're going to have to make sure we're spraying the titanium when we get it over here. Do I just want to belt? You know what? I think I will. Yeah, I may as well. It's not that far. I think this is the titanium here. Yep. Oh, I can just pull another raw belt out of this too to make sure it's not overloading that particular line. Maybe that's what I'm going to do. Actually, I think what we're going to do as well. Yeah. Copy an entire stack. I shift click on you. No, it's just grabbing the bottom part. Ah, that's a shame. I think we're okay with this. And then we ask for you on top. Request the tier 2s, because that's what we're doing. Request from. Give you a limit of a single stack. I probably ran out of range my little bots here, didn't I? Yeah, that's why things didn't get constructed here. Go, construction bots, go! Thank you. Just put a belt between the two sprayers. Oh, they continue. Oh, they chain. I mean, so I still need a splitter here, but I guess I could have put a splitter here and then just chain through the two. Okay, so mechanically equivalent, although arguably one way looks cooler, maybe. Chaining does sound pretty neat. So what I'm going to do here is we will build east-west instead for this next part. How much do we need input-wise for these? No, that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this. Yeah, it needs tons more hydrogen. So it needs very little titanium. It needs tons of this stuff. I don't know if we're going that far. Hold on. Yeah, just put a little cut in here for a second. My poor little construction bots are so far away. Chain can use more than 2 belts. Well, that's possibly true, yeah. I think it was assembler? Must be. Yeah. Takes 6 seconds per cycle. Okay, so we don't have to worry about feeding in that quickly. Although, yeah, so it's expecting a little bit more than 1 hydrogen input per second to keep up. Oh. We're fine. Okay. Let's just go ahead. It'll be okay. See, a little bit more than 1 per second, but this is going to make 1.5 trips per second. So I think that's fine. Now, I want to spray this as well, right? Because then it gives me more free fuel. Yeah, it's just for us. We don't really care about the speed, because if it's just for personal fuel, well, maybe it'll get used for other things. Oh, that's a little annoying. Why is it? It's not letting me snap. Huh. What does it think it's snapping to? Huh. Yeah, we're not getting more items. It's that our fuel is going to give us more bang for the buck. Yeah. So I'll just grab off the bottom part. Make the corner, and then feed into there. And then if we output from here, there we go. Now, we could still have it go into some sort of bigger, logistics transportation device, and we may. Although, splitter on the bottom. There we go. Feed into that. Create with no limit. That's going to be fine. And then I'll throw this on top and actually throw in lots of, we'll put in 10 logistics bots, provide for the Icarus. And so for the Icarus, I'm going to put in a request that, I don't know how much these stack to. The fact that this number is going slower makes me think these don't stack to huge amounts. $30? 120. Fill your bay. Yeah, so 4 stacks of 30. Okay. I think that we don't have enough input to feed all this. Although I can just mark Deucin belts and that would be fine. Just being lazy with my power dropping here. Oh yeah, we're actually not going to produce enough hydrogen for this. So a bunch of these are going to sit around doing nothing a lot of times. It's probably fine. Yeah, you don't need that many assemblers. You're right. I'm sure we could trim this way back. Because, yeah, I think they're going to run dry a lot, but meh. And at some point, we should really consume the graphite here, because this is going to be the thing that chokes everything out. So we do need to dump the graphite into something, or burn it, or there are things that consume it. This might be a good thing to just, from here, just throw it into some sort of planetary logistics thing and then send it somewhere else. I don't know. So what did I set this to? 90. So, the jumps in, oh no, there it is. 120s. Get over the plastic manufacturing. Yeah, maybe. For now, let's not worry about it. When this dies, what it's going to mean is it's going to, it's no longer going to produce fuel, but it is going to take a while to fill up. And maybe not as long as I thought. Well, you know what we can do? Super lazy mode. Let's do that. This won't die for a while. This chain is producing, yep. So yeah, a bunch of these aren't going to do anything because there's just not enough hydrogen. Okay, maybe I tell you what, I will go and cut that down there. And do that, just because we're not going to be putting it to much use. A lot of these are still not going to run. So just because it's hydrogen capped, I could throw some things on the other side. We can expand this. I am gonna have to figure out a good tileable way to generate as much of this, but maybe none of this is gonna be moot until we get the gas giant stuff going on. Yeah, burning a power plant. Every once in a while comes up if there's demand, but that's what I've done in the past. I suppose we could very quickly route some into there, into some burninating, but I guess I had enough already, so that's why I wasn't picking it up. That's fine. So if I might still just want to burn off some of this graphite for now. So I'm going to throw that into my engine first. Okay, let's try to build, what are these things? The orbital collectors. That's right, this was weird because I need the accumulators. For that, I need silicon. I don't know if I make silicon crystals anywhere. I kind of feel like I should just do this on the planet where we mine the silicon. Fire ice from gas giant is game-changing. Okay. Yeah, I have a ton of garbage in my inventory because I was handcrafting some stuff. I also need reinforced thrusters. Which need titanium alloy. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, okay. Here's what I propose. We go to Sriracha Sprout, and we, in place there, make the silicon crystals and throw them into a planetary or interstellar logistics station so we can have them available wherever we want, because we might end up needing a whole bunch. And craft crystals locally. I mean, and that is true, because I actually, not here, but one of my other planetary, not this one, I have one more that is requesting silicon as is. So we could just crunch it there. Yeah, right over here. I could just crunch it there. Need silicon to make yellow? Yeah, I think this... do I need silicon to make yellow? Is that lacking an input for something? It just needs two different kinds of crystals. No, neither one needs... The yellow crystals don't need silicon, I don't think. You need silicon for purple. Okay. And maybe that's the thing. I mean, clearly we need to get purple and green science cubes going. Let's see. All right, so first things first. We're getting silicon to be delivered here. In fact, I'm going to go and ask... I'm going to increase this number. We'll feed more into this planet over here. I still want to place... I need to, like, definitely kick up the green motor production a whole bunch. But let me pull some silicon off of this. Nice and tight over here. And then I don't want to, like, choke this area. Like, I want to make sure there's kind of room reserved here for some more belts for whatever's going to come through here later on. But on this side... Oh, and again, maybe we should spray the whole thing. This is a little annoying to build the whole structure for it every time. You know? Okay, so we can make silicon crystals either from high purity silicon, which is what I have. We can also make it from, what was it? Fractal silicon. Oh, which is a specific gathered from fractal silicium vein. Rare. Presumably this is not something in our system. Okay, so we're going to be doing recipe number 1, which is apparently made in a smelter. Okay. And yeah, I suppose there's no... We really should just assume we want to spray everything at this point. Okay, I will have to make a little blueprint of my little setup here. So let's... I don't think grabbing the proliferator as part of the blueprint makes much sense. And I'll leave a gap just in case, because there's a little tropic there. We'll do this. I mean, I guess it doesn't take that many clicks, but it is a little awkward that it's in so many different categories. Let me get back to you. That's fine. Oh, I'm gonna need more little bots too. Not necessarily. Because this is a receiver, not a sender. And actually, this might not be in range of the other one. Spray increases power consumption. Okay, that is good to know. Right now, we're okay. But yeah, all right. So, this does this. What's the cycle rate? It's a 2-second cycle, so we could have 12 of these in a row for max throughput, just to say. Hell, we'd have more than that if we go to Mark IIs, but let's make a Mark I production setup over here. I gotta remember this is count. Oh, I gotta make these longer. Oh, bump into an oil seep. I think there's just enough room here, though. Only 10 to saturate a belt? Wouldn't it be 12? Because a Mark I belt holds, it's 6 per second, isn't it? Plus 20% from spray. Oh. So we could have 12 here for the input side, but the output's going to get saturated at 10 because we're making bonuses. Oh, no! The math is getting worse! Nobody told me there would be math! Shite. Okay. And then we spray the output again. Damn maths. I gotta be like that. Well, is there really not any room between these? That makes me a little bit sad. So... all right, and again, I don't actually need any in here, because this is just accepting deliveries. Request. Nope, 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 nope. One available route. I think it does tell you if it's out of range, so presumably we're okay here. So, what I kind of want to do is just blueprint, I guess just this, as... I mean, it's just like logistic bot station. I don't think it's copying the filters or anything, but I don't know. I was hoping that clicking on this would put it in the thumbnail. Maybe you can drag it. Save that. There it is. Use now. Oh, can't actually. Well, you can't zoom in or do anything like this. I'm having a hard time knowing if it's aligned. I think that looks right. And it is not. Oh, maybe it was. Maybe the problem was the existing little bit of belt in the blueprint was kind of getting in the way. Okay, so it does know the stack size. Oh, it does get the filter. Okay, it does copy these settings. Good. So a bot should deliver some spray to here at some point, giving us extra bang for a silicon buck. Did I misclicked? Missed the end of the belt. Oh, previously. Are we okay now? I clicked on the ground behind it. Oh, that was what was going on. Okay, but now we're good. I don't even remember what I needed this stuff for. Get so distracted along the way of trying to figure something. Oh, this was all to be able to get to the point where I can build my orbital collectors, because the accumulator needed those. So now if I have iron ingots and that, plus a super magnetic ring, we're gonna be okay. Yeah, I'll probably not worry about automating the next part of it. I'm just gonna go and feed this into a bin. And if I just get one of these Mark II bins, I haven't actually built one yet. But yeah, then I don't need the splitter here. Are these not actually belt inputs and outputs? Really? I had assumed... Those are for the sorters. Yeah, but none of the other things have that. This to me looked like it was a belt input. Like, right? Like the splitter one here and that. Oh, I'm so disappointed. Aw. Oh well. So disappointed. All right, let's give you a little bit of a gap. Just give some room to work with things. I guess I'll use this big bin. Wait. The bins can't be stacked on top of things. I have this thing in my inventory that I'm going to hate forever. All right, good. Good. Glad to know it. That's fine. Yeah, we'll just store this up for now. Maybe without limit, because we can do some distribution of it later along the way. This is for RJ45 cables. Okay, so... Right, let's get some... So I can now build these. 5S. Is that the production time, or... Yeah, okay, it is. Electricity in the grid is supplied. Okay, so these are our batteries. This is what we use maybe for like solar panels or different things like that. As a material for the items rated proliferator. Wait. Oh, this is if we were producing them? Why is it still telling me about the proliferator on this thing? Yeah, I could make a request for iron, and maybe I should at this point. Yeah. Let's go and stick a little thingy on top of this. And load in just a few little logistic bots over here. And yeah, we'll put in a request for iron ingots. A couple of stacks. Okay. There. Something like that. Okay. I don't want to use up all my fuel here. These things here. Oh, I need a bunch of the titanium alloy. Oh, I ended up with a bunch of this hydrogen in my bank. That's no good. Let me do this. So I burn that stuff up. And then for this, a little annoying, you can hit delete to drop it, and you can do that. We'll just clear that space as we fly around. I'll just pick up the titanium. It's titanium alloy, right? Gotta charge the batteries too. Right, they have to be full batteries to use in the production. Right. Okay, here's where we make our titanium ingots. Or it would be if I had sulfuric acid coming down here. Why? Oh, we are permanently out of refined oil problem. Oh, shit. You know, I went through all that trouble of making that hydrogen over here. I didn't realize I was sitting on unlimited, fully stocked, excessive amounts of hydrogen here that I was just binning. I did this to make more refined oil. And I forgot to never get around to that. First of all, let me make a bigger buffer, but good news, everyone. Oh, you tried to tell me earlier. Well, why would I listen to you? You're some sort of weird esoteric fish. We want to feed you. Here. I'll probably upgrade this whole chain too. And yeah, we might want to throw this on the logistics network. I'm just leery about doing the liquids and gases and stuff like that because they don't seem to stack very well. So I don't know. Maybe they go just fine in the shuttles. Like they're shitty in your inventory. Yeah, balancing hydrogen, constant pain in the butt, yeah. Which does, I think, give you a lot of incentive for having a giant centralized place with some load balancing. Okay, that's that, but that's not, wait, is it over here that I needed the hydrogen? This is the place that's starved on hydrogen, right? Oh, no, no, right. This place isn't starved on hydrogen. It was starved on refined oil because we were backed up on hydrogen over here. Okay, so that's going to restart that production chain. All right, that much is good. Now, these accumulators, so what do? Do I put them down on the ground, let them charge up, and then pick them up again? High storage, activate an accumulator, know how to plan ahead. Uh-huh, sure. There's a building for it? Put them in a charger. So that's why it says it can be used as an ingredient. What's the charger building called? Thank you. Third from the right top row in the build menu. Oh, is that what the energy exchanger is? That's this thing here? Power conversion facility. It can not only store the surplus electric energy in a power grid into an empty accumulator to make it a full accumulator, it can also release the electric energy stored in the full accumulator. Really understand what it all means. It does it so much faster? Okay. Leave that one here. But yeah, so it's the excess that goes there. So, you know what wouldn't be a bad idea right now is that, you know that graphite I was like a little concerned about. Where was that? Isn't it my original? Oh yeah, right over here. Yeah, so now there's more of a purpose to burning this. I'm like, it's only gonna get burned if we run low, but I'm not currently running low. I mean, at some point we would have, sure. But now it's like, okay, no, if I build this, it will get consumed. I need we'll build more of those after. Oh wait, there's a magic key when you're dragging. Oh, they're not so tight that I can't do this. Okay. I don't know what I was doing there, but something wasn't good. Okay. Now, let me just swing back over here. So, build it there. What object is it colliding with? Why can't... It's being a little awkward. Why doesn't it open my inventory? Like, so can I drop them from my inventory? I mean, it looks like it's got input so we can make them mechanically and load them in there. You put them on a belt. You have to belt them in. I have to say, one of the things running into the later Dyson stuff is there's a few things that work differently. Like the nature of filtering the belts out of the logistics station. Nothing else really kind of works quite like this. And nothing else is quite working like this one as well. It's almost like different people kind of decided kind of semi-randomly on the user experience mechanics for some of these things. You know what I mean? Okay, here's my accumulators. looks very cool. Activate first energy exchanger, mastering how to share power between stars and allocate resources for more efficient base development. Okay, does seem to charge pretty quickly, although I have a little more excess power now too. So presumably, these are now the full ones. Oh, it's charging one at a time here. Okay. If I want to build this, I need... Oh no, this one. I need 20 of those fucking things. I think I did build 20. Okay. I feel that these batteries are something that I'm going to want to construct automatically. You need like 20 orbital collectors, which seems like a lot right now given the chain, but if it's sort of a one-time deal per gas giant, okay. Wow, these things happen quick. For a full gas giant. That is. You only really need a couple of gas giants. Okay, so a couple of mixed opinions, but at the same time sounding like it's not infinite. Oops. I don't want to start dropping on the ground. Pick that up. Okay. Build 5 is swimming in hydrogen at this point in the game. Yeah, so it does sound like a couple to kickstart us right now is all I have to worry about. But the big thing I think is going to be convenient is just, yeah, get these... I guess I could set up a thing to auto grab or auto dump. I hate that the screen's not in the same order, but there you go. Accumulators. I can say something like collect all. If I have any empty accumulators on me, grab them, right? And then over here, I can put in a filter for empty accumulators, which is there. And then presumably this thing is going to need... It'll just save me a little bit of trouble from looking. Fire ice is amazing. Fire ice plus organic crystal by oil. I guess, yeah, we're still waiting for some to be produced. Because I'm not... yeah, I don't have this part automated, but... Let's just confirm. When that gets done, it'll grab that. I was hoping to be doing more space stuff today, but it does sound like we're setting up things to get in that direction. No, here, I have accumulators. Right, and collect. I mean, I can make it one side. Collect. Accumulator. I have accumulators. Oh, check that. You're right. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, you're right. The limit did not save, and I don't know why it doesn't. Probably, it has to do with how you close it. I mean, maybe if I click outside of this, it's bad, but there you go. If I clicked in here, now it's locked it in. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know why it does that. Press escape, it cancels. Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Okay. Also wish I sort of didn't have to find this in my inventory to load it in here. Oh, it goes in groups of 25, which is a little awkward maybe, but I don't know. I'll tell you 100, I don't know what they stack to, but the important thing is just keep feeding these to me automatically. And then as soon as we get up to 20 of these full ones, which is very shortly, we're at 19. Tap to the drone. I thought I tried that. Oh, that one did work. Okay. I guess 10's the max. Okay, but I might not want to put a full 10 in here, right? Doesn't feel like I need a full 10. But I guess, yeah, the fact that this one can tab is fine. So we might need more power generation so that these charge a little faster, but that's a really temporary problem. All right, so we just made our first orbital collector, or we're about to. Yeah, I clearly should be automating the super magnetic rings. We're needing more of them. And I have everything that would be needed for that, but... So then what do we do? Do we just, do I just fly to a gas giant? Throw this down when it's done? I mean, I've got the logistics vessel. Am I gonna miss anything else? Okay, just fly up there. Okay. Let's do that now. So we are in orbit around a gas giant. I think does something. I think we're just in orbit because you can't actually land around. There we go. Manually collecting resources. So you turn that on. I'm currently collecting fire ice. I may not want to do that. I know it's okay. It's so dark I can't tell. It was just a black void. I couldn't be certain I was still orbiting, but let's take a look at this fire ice that people have been raving about. 4.8 megajoules plus 40. But it sounds like we don't use this as is for fuel. We're going to convert it, upscale it into something. Okay. Open build menu. Okay, but I don't actually have one of these built yet. Or do you mean something else with it? Fire ice equals... Oh, alternate graphene recipe. So if I look at the graphene over here, there you go. Fire ice breaks into hydrogen and graphene. Oh, that's fantastic. Okay. Let's find the equator. Right, so would it be better then to place my construction around the equator? Was that the idea? I'm just going to 0 south here. And then, there you go. Attempting to more or less orbit the equator here. Oh, that's the only place it will let you. Okay. Yeah, when we're on the dark side, it's like just a giant black void. It's very freaky. Has to be an equator. Okay, so as long as I'm close to the equator, I'm betting we'll find the drop spot for it. Oh, there's a cool looking icon here. Deuterium fractionation. Okay. Also gonna be the first time black void over, yeah. Press B and it'll be easier. Oh yeah, if I go into build mode, you're right. I'll be able to see the my lines. Okay, orbital collector. Oh yeah, it has to be literally exactly on the equator. And probably embedding a certain amount of space between one and the other, which is why there's maybe a limit to how many you can crank on there. You built your first orbital collector on Gacrix 2, which we're gonna rename right now to the Gassy Sprout. There you go, Gassy Sprout. Each gaseous planet contains an abundance of resources, and now they're all yours for the taking. Okay. Locals. I guess it can't. Okay, this is behaving like the interplanetary one, where you can normally choose whether you
Pay attention, there's a new subscriber.
supply or distribute locally, but here it's always local storage because there's no such thing as local supply. Forrest, thank you very much for the sub. I am also a Gatsby Sprout, says Banana Cabana. Nice. So, oh, not a lot of hydrogen. Is this planet like a little hydrogen low? These numbers are not that impressive. Is that it? I could just store, but I don't think there's any reason to that. I think we set up both of these. So then all we do... Can I not load ships here? I don't see a spot. It looks like it has parking. This only gets visited by other ships? You don't need ships. You have to request from the other side. Okay, so you can't load ships here. It's the requester that is responsible for getting ships in. All right. Cool, fine. Okay, this is nearly oot. Because I was just burning off the excess hydrogen. There we go. And then we'll pull back to graphene for now. That's going to be fine. And yeah, these things here burn some of the stuff themselves to generate fuel. But that's, why is it called? Oh, because it isn't fourth interstellar station. All right, fair. So let's go back home. Burn a fire ice for the achievements of using all the different types of fuel. Oh! So I haven't done everything yet, but there you go. We'll have put that in there just in case. So for now, I can just let that accumulate because I don't immediately need that set up as an input everywhere. Because right now we're kind of making we're making it work a little bit. The big thing that would still be nice would be scaling up the yellow science production. On the other hand, we are at some point gonna, finish the tech tree, and at least it's working. It may not be working quickly, but it is working. I think, yeah, the limiting factor here is I think that's the refined oil. Oh no, wait, that's the plastic, and the plastic is being limited by the refined oil. Yeah, so that's still the issue over here. There's maybe a little bit too much that was happening on it, and mostly it's that, oh yeah, these oil extractors are running dry and caught me a little off guard. Proliferating all that stuff does sound like a really smart thing to do. At the very least, let's start off by throwing a thingy on the end product. And then if I can throw more proliferators along the way, it'd be nice, but there's so many different steps and sub-steps that I suspect I'm gonna have an issue. I'll leave in a gap for making it a little simpler. Do that to not worry about the alignment. Go. Bots were going. Did this get loaded with bots? No, it didn't. Okay. Oh, maybe there were just ones that were following me to deliver some resources. Oh, I have to do all. Oh, you're right. I have to do all the colors of science. Otherwise, I'm not getting the benefit from this. Okay. You know what, then? I could have just done it. Hang on a sec. It's not X. Some games, X is down. This is not one of those. Do it at the other end here. I think that leaves just enough room for this. You guys hear that? They're like a Geiger counter going off. Sound of Science. I think that's a Simon and Garfunkel song, right? It's not gonna let me put it there, is it? Oh. Sure it was overlapping stuff, but nope, there, good, just barely. Oh, I grabbed that off the bottom, which feels stupid, so let's just grab that. I'm not gonna know for sure I properly connected this until I witness, there we go. There we are. Hello, Lab Coat, my old friend. Wait, do you think there's a Portal parody of the song called Sound of Science? Is there? That would be perfect. Okay, so all three of those are being sprayed. Now, when we get to our next science, I think there's 3 other color science, but we can load them on the other side and then just chain the sprayer through to that side as well, right? Be like placeholders here for 4 more colors. Oh. All right, well, we'll figure that out when we figure that out. Just me or the directions seem... Maybe the proliferators don't actually care about direction. This doesn't have to be connected. Just leave it as a don't accidentally build anything in your own way here, Quill. Kind of reminder. What am I doing so wrong? There we go. Huh. Cool. It looks great, I gotta say. These things look awesome like this. It feels like a proper, like, industrial production chain when we've got them sorted in this way. Doesn't matter direction, proliferate. Okay. But for looks, we're gonna have them match here. That's gonna be fine. So yeah, so probably, no, these are starting to get sprayed, so that's good. There you go, double arrow, double arrow, double arrow. What's this thing? Oh, I accidentally picked up a yellow science. Go. Doesn't matter which direction you place. 6 hours later. Why did I build these useless conveyors? Let's get rid of those. Yep. It would not surprise me. But for now, at least, if you got that. Okay, what's involved in making purple science? We need processors, which we do make, but very lightly. I feel like processors do get used by a few things. I think it would be a good idea to get a bigger production line for processors set up that then feed into a logistics system. We also need particularly broadband, which uses plastics, which is a little tricksy right now still because our oil situation doesn't feel good. Might want to do warpers first to go to other planets. Purple science setup is super annoying. Oh, good. Crystal silicon, at least this part is really easy. Raw silicon into crystals, we're good. Carbon nanotubes. Oh, it's also fine. It's just titanium ingots plus graphene. Okay, that's all good too. Need a metric ton of processors. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I think the next step really is what can we do to scale up the processor production chain? And part of me is wondering, it feels like this would be great to set up on the spicy sprout, or sriracha sprout, on our magma planet, because this needs, this is silicon, right? Yeah, and copper and iron, all which is available over there. Maybe scale up yellow before. I mean, yes, the problem is yellow's so inconvenient because the oil products. Need a lot of power for purple. So is the solution we just like get the Dyson Sphere stuff going on? What would be involved in that? Where am I? Let's head north. Let's head to like 30 degrees north. People said the launchers ideally kind of want to be at like plus 30 or something so they don't have the inability to fire in the overhead position. We'll just flatten a little area over here. We'll do a little dummy test. Where's the actual 30 degrees? It's this line here. I mean, I don't think it has to be specifical, but just for the sake of whatever. Yeah, I made a couple of these to like, ooh, Oh yeah, they need a gap because they need to swing around. They can't have anything too high nearby. Even if I were to put the power like here, yeah. It's too close. I mean, maybe there's a situation where like you really want those the satellite ones. Pave the world, make it an awful place, because nature sucks and just gets in our way. All right. You have to be configured? Right, yeah, but orbit 1 is fine for both of these, I assume for now. But yeah, there's a whole, you can like custom design your Dyson Sphere, which we're not doing that today, that's for sure. So you need to be fed, so we can probably have something that just runs like this, because you need to be fed solar sails, which have a lifetime, I believe. Graphene we do, photon combiner we don't. That needs a bunch of green circuits and prisms. Oh man, this is all going to be a whole thing. Yeah, and then we need to be able to collect it as well, yeah. And these things have a lifespan, right? Like, after they've been in orbit for a while, they decay. So you need a non-stop supply of this. And then you need the ray receiver. Is there an optimal place for the ray receivers? How many do we need? Do we stick it on the pole? Do we have a whole line of them around the equator? What's the sweet spot for those? Pole for sure, so that they don't, like, self-eclipse from the planet? Do you not need very many ray receivers? Basic generation 6 megawatts. Poles, so they always receive power. Just feels like you can't stack an infinite amount there. All right, well, let's see what happens. So, let's, we're handcrafting stuff. So let's swing over to the South Pole. Which I was so surprised last time when I got lost, because I had always assumed I was building around the North Pole. But we have a little bit of construction over here right now. And avoid putting anything on the pole proper. Depends on the planet. Well, it's continuous connections ideal or efficiency decays. Ray receivers work best when they work continuously. Oh. So they take a while to sort of power up, power down. So if they're constantly cycling between the two, it's not very good. Yeah, again, you can see we clearly want more automation here. They detect relaxes those constraints, but best for poles now. Okay. Ooh, love seeing ships go overhead. Nobody mentioned the cat's eyes yet. Uh oh. Super ideal is tightly locked planet. Yeah, or planet that's inside the Dyson Sphere. Ray receivers go on top with the launchers. Yeah, I guess you could have a bunch of launchers up here too. So that, yeah, again, they're constantly firing. Although I might want to use as much real estate as possible up here for the receivers themselves. Late game, there's a thing that extends the receiver area to the atmospheric surface. So you can have 100% uptime near the poles. Okay, cool. Love having planets inside my spheres. Kills my GPU though. All right, there's our first one of these. It's like auto-rotating in a neat way. Also, looks like it's got a transport belt connection. Oh, is that... Can you fill accumulators with that? Anyway, I'm going to put one here. See what happens. All right, so you are here. Power generation. Under photon generation mode, ray receivers will receive energy with extremely high power and directly store it as photons. So that's what the belt is for. For late game things. So we can store like physical forms of photons and belt them out. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it here, power generation. Under power generation mode, array receivers will add the output energy to the power grid. Because I did this way back in super early access, I did this, but I feel like everything is radically different than it was before. So I guess we do graviton rays later on. Neutron star material. Okay. Max output is 6 megawatts. Ray receiving efficiency is 37%. Is this just based on tech? Energy transmission efficiency of the Dyson Sphere with ray receiver can be increased by technology upgrades and continuous working. Okay. So yeah, if it is constantly receiving stuff, that's good. So let's just make sure. Oh, you already connected to the grid. Okay. Well, and I have a second one, so you know what? I'm just going to go and put you here. Just for cuz. Is this enough pole, or should I really just have one like that in the middle? Or do I want, you know, as many as I can pack in nearish to the pole as I can? Now we're going to throw that in. Place one in pure middle as well. You'll need a bunch. Okay, well, I only have 2 right now, so we'll get back to it. Smack dab in the middle is best position. Okay. Ooh, I'll read that later. Yeah, I guess I really could have put a few guns over there for testing. Pew! I do like that. And then, hold on, I gotta land. And then if we go at the space view, we'll actually see them get flung. There they are here. And they're just gonna be tiny little dots getting into position. They're blue, and then they park themselves as orange. So they're collecting power from the sun and then transmit it to my ray receivers, right? Activate your first ray receiver and solve the problem of receiving energy from the Dyson Sphere. Activation has taken the solar energy to a whole new level. And flap them in space as well. Oh, nice. Yeah, tiny dots for now. I know people keep posting pictures of their Dyson Spheres, and it does get redonkulous. Okay. So now let me head back to the pole here. It's a long trip between these two. A little silly, but at the same time, it's fun to just test things right now. Let me keep burning off this graphite currently. So, continuous receiving 0.08. Progress will drop rapidly as nothing is received. Okay, so it does gain really slowly. Maybe it gains faster if it was receiving from more places. Strength 100%, power load like a diamond in the sky. Light a star that belongs to you in the Milky Way view. Yeah? Oh yeah, I'm constantly receiving graphite. I forgot about that. Let me get rid of this. Don't need that anymore. That's why I can't make a dent in the inventory here. Requested power. Current requested power by the ray receiver from the Dyson Sphere. Power Dyson Sphere is insufficient. Actual allocation. So these things... Right. This thing can produce 6 megawatts, but it's not very efficient. So it needs to request almost triple the amount. So it's requesting 16.2, but it's only getting about 90 kilowatts. So right now, the barrier to me generating more power is just flinging more things into space. Oh, they compete. Dyson Sphere surface. Wait, my current Dyson Sphere can produce, yeah, 177, and it's splitting between the two. So having 2 of these right now does absolutely nothing for me. I would get just as much power if I only had a single one. On a grid, isn't it? Oh, wait, these don't interconnect. Oh, well, that's news to me. This one was on the grid. Press Y for swarm overview. Oh, that was the view that was there before. It's the Dyson Sphere view here. Yeah, there you go. There's my little dots right over there. Okay. 0.5 satisfaction. So presumably this is the satisfaction of my receivers. So they are not satisfied at all. Much like Alexander Hamilton. So if I want more... So what I should almost do is just trash it. In fact, I will go and put it right smack in the middle for now. Since one is... What's the total power of my local grid here? Well, 100 megawatts. So actually, the 6 megawatts from this is actually not going to be... It's not going to satisfy the whole grid on this planet right now. Not even close. But what I can do is I can still, you know, install the other one on another planet. If it got up to... Yeah, so it got up to the 6. Yeah, it's only about 6% of everything on this planet right now, but it can scale up pretty easy. Dyson Sphere sucks in the beginning, yeah. And yeah, I was going to say, the reason I was keeping one of the ray receivers in my pocket is because then I can use that on a new planet. So when we move over to Frozen Sprout, which we haven't actually named yet because we haven't visited yet, then we can get that sorted. But obviously, well, batteries to the grid, smooth fluctuations, I can see that. I mean, right now, what's basically happening is the thermal plants that are burning, you know, coal-type products. They're the ones that are... Oh, you still have plenty to fling. Yeah, because you're waiting for the sun to rise again. But yeah, we want more of those flung out. How long stay in orbit? I don't know what the lifespan is. They do have one. There you go, life 5,700 seconds. I believe we've already gotten one upgrade. I don't know if that includes that number in there. But yeah, solar cell life upgrade adds 300 seconds to it. Level 2 is in the queue. We can queue a few more of those. We can't get to this one yet because of purple, but we could throw a few more of those. They last longer. There's the efficiency boosters as well that we can get to. Okay. Upgraded data's on the right. Oh yeah, right over here. So this is where I'm currently at. 5,700 seconds life. And there's some amount of dissipation that happens now, which we can counter. Okay. On the star system view, I believe star's luminosity determines your sphere's power output. Okay, so this is the total of everything in the entire system. Why is crude oil highlighted? Because yeah, I can click on an individual planet. This seems to be the supply of all of them. Oh, it's rare. Oil is rare. Ah. So a lot of places don't have oil. And yeah, receiver on both poles sounds like a great idea, especially as we orbit, because if we've got axial tilt, then for half the year, one pole is more exposed than the other. But, okay, so luminosity over here. So some stars might have more luminosity than others. Texas tea. Oh yeah, the oil. Yeah. Also, I'm on a moon. You're right. Yeah, every now and again I get eclipsed by the planet I'm orbiting, which is annoying. So theoretically, this is about to start firing in. Target status pitch limit. Yeah, I can't pitch enough to fire at the start yet. I don't know how high it's got to be in the sky. Yep, the brighter, the more power. Over 2 is usually a really nice star. Okay, I'm on the moon with Steve. Yes, it's dead at time. Boom! Where was the kaboom? It might be a little too annoying, especially when you get a billion of them firing. I mean, we're gonna want to do that. I'm like, oh, put it down. We'll get a new delivery of Foundation. Love tilt the planet changes depending on season. Yeah, moons and planets actually orbit. Yeah. Okay, I mean, we only got 15 minutes left. We don't have enough for another mega construction. What do you think is the best thing to do next? I mean, our power is fine right now. Obviously, we're going to need a billion more soon. We could go and proof for power by getting automatic solar collectors going on. That would be, you know, if we want to get more power, that's the next step. But yeah, I don't have enough soil. Just starting to be more and more of a problem. Oh, now I'm out of foundation as well to grab more soil. Get stuff from your orbital collector. Right, I mean, we can drop that here. And then we get infinite hydrogen. Graphene production from fire ice. Yeah. I'm wondering, so that is basically unlimited and not run out. Right, so I have graphene production somewhere over here, but of course it's using up some of my resources. See, right here. Right now, we're making it out of sulfuric acid and energetic graphite. And actually, the sulfuric acid is having some pretty constant problems because it uses all kinds of oil products and stuff along the way. So, yeah, ton of solar sails. Solar sails, do they need... yeah, they need graphene. So, I propose we convert this production queue. And is it just a question of picking the different recipes? Is it made in the same place? Yeah. Gas ice giants never run out. Only limited production rate. Nice. And 2 outputs instead of 1. Right. So 1 input instead of 2, and 2 outputs instead of 1. Oh, I need to copy, paste. Oh. Oh, too far? Oh, I guess it was. Okay. How are you broken? There, now you're fine. Looks exactly the same as it was a second ago, but now you don't think you're broken. Cute. How strange. So, we have a interplanetary logistics station here, but it is got 4 slots, and people recommend leaving the final slot empty because we're going to want to load warpers in here so that our ships, I guess, can warp later on. So I'm going to leave that there. So I'm going to put down a new one. And this thing is going to request, at very least, fire ice. And probably what we'll do is we can shove the graphene back in here afterwards. No English. Oh, is it really like sometimes just eat your click? Was that the idea? Can also request hydrogen, but we'll start with this. So we're going to request remotely. And then I have to load ships in here. Now this is one I can't... Oh, I can tab this one. Except I don't want that many logistic drones in here because that doesn't seem very useful. I don't even know if I'm going to need logistic drones in here. But what the hell? Let's do it. We'll put a tenor. There you go. So you have spaceships. Apparently not part of the grid. Wow, these connection ranges are really wonky. There we go. Now if I do this, there we go. Fire ice gets dumped onto here. 2,800 in transit, 32. Okay, good. Oh, more probably as these ships are charging up. They're going to grab more. Okay. And yeah, that's going to extrude hydrogen. The actual recipe output here. 2 graphene for 1 hydrogen. Okay. Now, right now, all of it's outputting in the same place. What's the cycle time on this one? 2 seconds. You just put a little cut here so it doesn't start producing. Do I want to output to 1 belt and split? No, I think I'm going to output to 2 belts. My way. A little more tedious because we got to go and put a filter on each one of those. And hydrogen. Actually, no, sorry. Change of mind. Put the graphene on there because it's already dumping in something that's kind of expecting graphene. Although, and it's exporting 2 graphene, so we'd like to export from the closest. I wonder if I can copy the filter. Oh, I've got my keys inverted. There we go. Part of me is like, hold on, maybe I should have tore the whole thing down. That way I could just easily paste out the entire new thing. I think I moved my finger and I was on the wrong thing. Okay. Now, we are going to run into the problem of, like, balancing the outputs again. There's somewhere that's always going to need more hydrogen, and then over here we're going to end up with a bunch of hydrogen just sitting around not doing anything. Which makes me think we might just dump this into a logistics system and then start doing logistics systems-y things with it. Okay, so this is graphene, which then goes over here. So the graphene's already going into an interstellar logistics station, which is great. So it can do some supplies or whatever we want. Do we have anything locally that is burning hydrogen? This place here, yeah, we can just feed it into this because it's being used for something somewhere along the way. Yeah, making hydrogen into cells, which I think is all like this kind of area vibe is part of that. If I go here, here, drop to the ground, and feed into that. Now, right now, actually, apparently the consumption is down currently. But that's a problem for later me, for future me. Okay, so I think I'm fine now with hooking this up. How much are you grabbing? You just have to grab 1 per second, so you're sorted on that. Future you is gonna hate you. Oh yeah. My future self is usually really pissed off with my past self, but... Now, I don't know if this is gonna be producing graphene anywhere near as quick as I still want. But it's going to be pretty easy to build more lines in parallel. If we, like, again, I still have the dirt problem. We, like, pave over this whole lake. We can get a whole bunch more of these graphene lines set up over here. Or I can just drop a new one of these logistics stations. Could even be a planetary one, because I am going to do the local supply over here. So I could just set up another fire ice production line somewhere else. And yeah, this one line is holding a lot. This could be extended, but at least, okay, this is going to keep a constant supply of graphene. I could speed up the belt. I don't think these belts need to be faster, like, because they're not anywhere near saturated, so I don't see any why I would make these belts faster. I think we're okay. And yeah, this machine over here, it's already got like 8,000 graphene sitting in there. So that's good. Yeah, so there have been a few hints that, like, if we want to scale up to, like, yeah, we want to start doing purple research, but it's going to need so much power. So I'm thinking that what I want to do is probably get the solar sail stuff going on. Now, I have this little chain here making sulfuric acid, so I don't need this route anymore. This was just feeding into my graphene production chain, which doesn't need to exist anymore. The sulfuric acid is still being used as part of our titanium alloy production. And we could use more of this. Actually might be... I would need 3 proliferators. But maybe I should do that. And I think people are also indicating that these... Oh, minus spray quotas? That these proliferators do take a fair amount of power as well. Fusion power will do you fine for purple. Oh, actually, yeah, the inputs here might be the thing to do. I mean, we've got lots of copper, and that's water, which doesn't really matter too much. And that's just stone. Although that means we get more of this. Right. If I proliferate here, I get more sulfuric acid. In the same amount of time. Oh, it's oil. Yeah, so actually proliferating that sounds really good. Also, I think I have to make this jog a little bit longer here. If I do that, I can have these three nicely side by side. I think I shouldn't have that in my blueprint. I think that's what keeps kind of messing with me. Do I need to route it through the others? Or is it auto spreading here? No, I do still need to... There it is. Okay. Yeah, these tropics. Not making life very easy here. Ah! Or why couldn't all these planets be flat? There you go. So we're getting extra products there. And then, well, I'm gonna have to go and pick up some more resources for this. We need these exciters, which is fine. I do produce those. But I think the thing to do would also be to throw some proliferators on this for more titanium. Oh. Wait, but this works without power. I'm betting the supply side probably needs power because to charge its own bots. The receiving side doesn't need power, but we do get an annoying little message, so let's go and do that. Currently running out of power. Yeah, our satisfaction's not there right now, so we need more. And I think I want to avoid, like, burning more stuff. I could put down a ton more wind power. I could put down some solar power, but I'm kind of excited about getting the Dyson grid set up. Ooh, I should have picked up green circuits. Go. No, I know the yellow cubes. We're not producing anywhere near enough yellow cubes. It's this whole thing with the oil chain. Actually, even if the our oil input is fully saturated, these two rings of the chemical plants basically to make the whatever this is outputting, the organic crystals, right? This thing here, just even with the full input of the oil, they can't produce enough to fully saturate the whole system. Yellow cubes are greedy AF. What I'll do is I'll throw one on here before we start stockpiling it. Is there a tropic problem here? Oh no, there it goes. Damn 3D shit. There we go. How much power does this take? Insufficient power supply. The answer is apparently quite a bit. So yeah, we need, okay, at least we got tons of graphene. Graphene production is sorted. If we want to continuously make solar panels, what we need to do is set up an area that is mass producing photon combiners, which I think the raw ingredient production chain is not going to be anywhere near enough as is either. Burn your hydro, it's free with orbital station. Oh, that's right, all that extra hydrogen can be burned. That's a great point. Since I really don't care about it anymore. I need... Right now I need thermal plants, which means I need some stone. Yeah, well, the inventory tends to start a little cleaner at the start of the stream, and then I'm just trying to go fast, right? So I'm not watching it. But yeah, it's gotten a little bit on the full side, possibly because we kept requesting energetic graphite, which I hadn't realized. Yeah, the yellow cube definitely not producing enough. Oh, that's fine that that's not on. Okay. That's okay. Yeah, I guess I could get rid of the whole... Now, I think with the priorities, it's already set that way. But this entire side chain over here is basically to produce more hydrogen. Because at the start of things, you have too much refined oil and literally nothing to do with it. But now that's not the case anymore. But I do have a priority over here. So it's interesting that it's still loading. Oh, no, because we're burning it. Yeah, I have a little bit of a hydrogen burner set up over here, which... soil. Now this is just local burning. That's not even like taking in requests from space burning. Now over here is where we're getting an excess of hydrogen accumulation. This huge bin over here. We do output some, but to help feed into this area, but we don't really need much. And this hydrogen here gets over full. I could burn here. I could burn off this. I think it's probably fine for me to put some burn here. This doesn't need to exist the same way anymore. Although, maybe I'll leave it here. This is here to, in case we end up with excess graphene in this little system. It can go over there. But, you know what? F it. Hey, solar cycle life. It's nice to have gotten a bunch of those upgrades before we even started launching the solar sails. Sure, I could make this a little bit tighter and more space efficient, but there you go. That'll help stop this from overfilling again, and satisfaction now achieved. Yeah, graphene. Yeah, we don't want to burn graphene. This was energetic graphite, not graphene over here, but the words are very confuzzulating to me, so. Alright, so that's our power, again, sort of for the meantime. And we are over 4 p.m., so we're going to be putting a cut in here. The thing I want to do, I'm pretty certain here, is I do want to start mass solar sail or whatever production. Although the landscape for it, and I'd like to do it somewhere, ideally, near our railguns here on this planet. Which does mean having to pave over a bunch of the world, and I still don't have enough dirt, and I still don't know what the solution to getting infinite dirt is, other than what I do sometimes is go to these areas that are otherwise existing, and then, yeah, just sort of flatten it out, and hope that overall I'm going to come out ahead. Now, all of a sudden I got tons of dirt. Right, and then I do like that it cuts at that little tropic. You get these little clean lines. Lack of an item. Oh, then I got to wait for more foundation to be delivered, but that's happening a lot. Oh, right now I'm having technical difficulties. Oh, is he streaming? Not a kiss for luck today? Oh, she might have needed to go out. My poor little delivery bot's probably having a hard time getting to me with the foundation. There we go. Pave over other planets, collect soil. Yeah. I mean, I get the memes now. There's no doubt about that. I 100% get the memes. So yeah, what I kind of see that would be nice is... Okay, I'm going to draw this in reverse, but that's going to be fine. Wait for it to be put down, and then it can invert the direction, which is a beautiful quality of life upgrade that happened, I think, in the January update. And then, yeah, we're going to want, I'm certain, a spray coater. Actually, I don't know. Does the spray coater matter for the solar sails? Huh. But the thing, it's not even very convenient to put on here, because what I was thinking is you just, you get this. Yes, longer life. So you definitely do want it. I thought it'll be quite good to just output on here, and that's great, but we clearly want to go through a sprayer. So I think I kind of want a little parallel block. Like just off like this. There's probably a more clever way to do it, but again, I want to build east-west. I've learned that. It would be very inconvenient to build another way. So now I'm thinking I want some amount of a block that feeds into these. And I guess you can have multiple sprayers on the same line. I'm assuming it doesn't spray the same thing twice, so it just passes through. Like, because let's say that this whole thing here goes around this entire tropic, this 30-degree tropic here, and loops around, makes a constant loop, and you would sort of keep feeding onto these. I like to set up with a belt circling the planet, carrying sails with a feeder belt like you have right there. Yeah, and then we can have a few feeder setups every now and again. In fact, the whole thing might be blueprintable. Let me just load up the other stream and see what the deal is with Rhino stuff. But yeah, we can do a little bit more time. So you need 2 inputs because you need the graphene or graphite, whichever one. You need one of the graphy thingies. And you need the photon combiner. What I'll do is ask for... I mean, for this, I suppose, just the planetary one. And we can always upgrade it to an interstellar, because they have the exact same footprint, I think. Right, so if I go upgrade... Oh, it doesn't let you do that. Really? Oh. Although I think I am right about them having the same footprint on the ground. Okay, too close. But yeah, so I could later on trash this one and replace it with the interplanetary one if my graphene was being produced somewhere else. Now what we do is we say this, I want graphene, I am demanding this much. There you go. So that's going to start getting carried over here. Looks like proliferated sails are just launch faster. They don't last longer. Oh, really? They have the same footprint on the ground. Interplanetary has a wider no-build zone around it. Oh, so that's why they don't allow just the straight-up upgrade, perhaps. This might be a little close, although I can extend it later, and I can replace this part with a little splitter or something. Yeah, it's fine. Gotta start by putting it somewhere, so that's okay. And so, like, I could put in the request for this photon combiner. I could put in a demand here as well, because maybe I don't build it in place. And maybe I should just assume. Oh yeah, hold on, I gotta put filters. Although I think I did discover, yeah, you can, in fact, filter after the fact. It's just not super duper obvious. But that was nice for all the times I forget to build the filter immediately. Hashtag no filter. I'm pretty sure I'm using that right. I'm hip with the kids. Let's check the build times. 4 seconds to build, 1 of each. Yeah. It does output 2, but again, the whole time is pretty slow. Oh, there you go. Really jam him in there. Oh, missed a spot here, which is a little annoying. I really have to get better with like distributing these towers properly. So then somewhere in the world, I will make photon combiner. That'll have to wait until next time. Starting soon, technical difficulties. Okay, they're still waiting over there. So we can cheat and go a little longer. All right, green circuits and prisms, or later on some sort of crystal thing. Green circuits just need copper and iron, right? Yes. And the prisms just need glass, and glass is just made out of stone. So we need a site that's got 3 inputs. Stone, iron, copper. And that will be able to generate the photon combiners. Actually, why not use more faster? Well, they do take a lot of material. Like the tier 2 belts need the green motor things, which I don't produce in huge amounts yet. I suspect we'll do an upgrade here, but for now, there's no reason that I'm gonna need those belts. I'm sure, especially maybe on the central one, I suspect that's gonna need some upgrades later, but we can wait. We are making prisms already, but not very substantially. We've got a tiny little bit of prism production, and maybe we don't need a lot. Maybe we don't need a lot. Hey, hold on. If I go and put a distributor on here and say, yeah, distribute to other distributors, will this deliver to that? You're gonna need tons. You're never gonna stop making solar cells. Yeah, that's what I'm pretty sure. I mean, I know we're not building this. I might want to build a little bit of this locally, just because. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it'll work. For paving problems, proliferated foundation make you use less soil. What is proliferated foundation? Is that a mode I can do now? Or is that something we get later? Is it an upgrade? Okay, no, so this only goes to other boxes. Okay. Oh, spray it! Proliferated! Ah! Okay, I see what you're saying. What else do we need for this photon container? We need green circuits. We already have. Okay, I'm gonna make a little bit in place because we're gonna want some. So if I go and throw a bin on here, I'll have to make some more of these too. Pick up a stack of those bad boys. Yeah, there we go. Give me another stack of 20 because we're gonna do that. So I need to make some bots. Okay. So this here is going to distribute to other distributors. And it cannot right now, but that's going to be okay. Tell you what, I'll cancel that. We'll get some bots going on. Chat is basically hole in the idea of paint everything. Okay, that's that. And yeah, I can put a box with the local thing and feed it over here too, and I may in fact do exactly that. But yeah, just to avoid some more spaghetti things over here, I'm just gonna get a little area here, which is gonna make me this thing. I think we can only get one of these. This can only supply one type of goodie, right? Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you need the prisms and the green circuits. So if I say I would like can I see the green circuits? I see the orange. I'm freaking out here. There they are. I think I just assumed it was going to be near this one because I feel like these are upgrades from one to the other. I'm like going crazy. So yeah, you're going to request no more than one stack. Oh, cancel. You're requesting the prisms, which aren't very far, and maybe this whole thing is very silly, but I don't care. Request. This is my first time setting up one of these, but it might be convenient to have more of these boxes operate like this. Then one little gap there. It uses more material, more power. But, I mean, maybe. What's happening here? There you go. More sales life. There we go. And you don't need a limiter. We can just, well, I mean, I might not want to make like infinite amounts of these, but maybe 4. And I think if I put this on top when it had resources already in, we do that. And then you're gonna need some bots so that you can share these pinky bits with other things. And then for now, because again, I think we need to massively ramp up the scale of this. There's no doubt about that. We need massively more scale than what we're working on right now. But to bootstrap, because massive scale is going to be make this pink stuff in huge numbers somewhere else. But all that's going to need more power. And won't it be nice if this starts here and is putting in a request for the pinky things? Let's keep a couple of stacks as above. You know what? 1 stack. It's like fine. It's actually probably going to be more or less continuous. Just output there. And it won't output if it's full because we're actually doing this. Half the stream doesn't sound right when you're taken out of context. Yeah. So you are now doing that. Although, oh, these aren't being proliferated. The hope is that the graphene we deliver will be. But the stuff we're producing in a little mall is not. I know these are only receivers, they don't need power, but I don't want them blinking at me. Okay, so you're requesting the pinky stuff, which I was gonna say I probably accidentally picked some up. No, that went out on the belt, so that's gonna be okay. The pinky stuff is now being proliferated, but this isn't. Again, the hope was that we shouldn't need a local one, although I might want one for just in case I do something stupid and put graphene on here that's not done. I should go to the other end and make sure it's getting there. I just need to move this over slightly to the left. Or remove the first sale factory. Yeah, I guess that's probably... I mean, either way, I have to trash one thing and replace it. This is probably going to be less cumbersome. There we are. there's going to be a big bottleneck of, what is this stuff called? Photon combiner. That is going to be a big bottleneck right now because we don't produce it very quickly. Yeah, you're right. If I trashed this, I would have had to pick up all that graphene. That is completely correct. Is there a quick way to drain the belt? I mean, I guess I can just dismantle this and then rebuild it. And then, can I drop the graphene in here? I think that worked. Okay. There. So that's all being proliferated. Let me just check this tiny little photon combiner. Upgrade you. Work a little faster. So yeah, your inputs are fine. There's just limit to how much you can do. And so clearly this is something I have to do in massive amounts of bulk and put that in a proper logistics network. And I might just end up building it over here because I clearly need some over here. And I've got real estate available on this side over here. So it might be the perfect place to do it. But you are producing the solar sails, which are coming down on here. Doing that. It is going in here, which is currently not being gooped, and it might turn out that we don't need to. So if it's true, it sends out faster. I mean, that might be more convenient for spamming out faster, but I guess it's not a huge deal. Let me do that. And get those doing that. Yeah, the Dyson Sphere won't have changed much because those weren't actually belted. It was only the 15 I manually loaded previously were in there. No need for it at this point. Maybe in the sphere need to grow. Yeah, we can figure out a way to like throw those on after. But yeah, for now we're okay. And yeah, what I need is more of these. I like seeing them turn, like they're tracking the sun. It's really neat. Yeah, and I need supermagnetic ring production automated. So we're starting to need it for more and more things, and it's a pain in the butt to manually produce it. It's a pain in the butt to freaking automatically produce it as well, because these, like, graphite, fine. Magnets, fine. Electromagnetic turbines, yeah, we might be able to see a few glowing if we're facing the right direction. Change the orbit to Dyson Swarm direction at all. Yeah, because you can like redesign it, right? You have multiple orbit lists and things. Because presumably there's a maximum probably in each orbit. So you're gonna have to make more than one. So magnets plus magnets plus magnets. Yes. Yo, dog, I heard you like magnets. Yeah, this is just very slowly happening here because the production is slow, but yeah, most of this isn't going to operate right now, none until we get the photonic combiners set up in the logistics system. Okay, looks like the live stream has started over on a Kiss for Lux channel. And yeah, we're nearly half an hour past the limit here. I'm tired. I got other things to record. Actually, I don't think I'll be recording today. I think my voice is shot. But hopefully, tomorrow and Friday, gonna do lots. I want to put in tons on the RimWorld royalty run, which has been a lot of fun. And I've started recording Baldur's Gate 2, so fingers crossed I can find some time to sneak that in as well. Our next live stream is going to be on Saturday, where almost certainly, probably within an hour or two, Randy willing, we will finish our RimWorld Tribals to Gods playthrough, and then probably start a Dwarf Fortress playthrough. But yeah, we'll see how it feels. We'll see what the timings are. I mean, if it takes us 3 hours to do RimWorld, I might not just do like 1 hour of Dwarf Fortress, just because it's like, well, we'll barely have gotten started there. So maybe we'll do a random time filler game for an hour, and then we'll start the full thing the next week. I mean, we're gonna have to play it by ear, but that's sort of the vibe. So yeah, right now we're gonna go and raid a Kiss Flex channel where Rhinoceros Maximus is on there playing some Hogwarts Legacy. So give him some love, and I'm gonna see you guys on Saturday. Bye-bye, everyone. And yes, it just started shooting again. Huzzah! Because the sun has just risen just enough. Attack the sun!